Shalom Aleichem, Beruchim Boachem. Welcome to another video. Now, I remember doing a video on abjad a while back. I wasn't sure if everyone understood the significance of that video, so I decided to redo it. Now, abjad, which is actually a Arabic word. Okay, so in Hebrew it's kathav isri. Okay, kathav is writing. Isri is consonantal. Isr in Hebrew is consonant. In modern Hebrew, I should say. And when you add a yod in modern Hebrew, it acts like English when you make an adjective more adverbial. Okay, so it's like Isr is consonant, you add the yod, it becomes consonantal. Okay, same thing as me saying beautiful, add the y, beautifully. And that is modern Hebrew for you. Okay, so abjad, let's get right to that. So to best illustrate what an abjad is, I've written a sentence, but notice this sentence lacks or vowels are wanting. Okay, that is pretty much what abjad is. Semitic languages are abjad languages. It's a writing system without vowels. It's a consonantal writing system. Remember, kathav isri, kathav writing, isri consonantal. Okay, so you're only writing the consonants, and this is pretty much what it is. So could you read this without the vowels? Well, I can because I wrote it, but could you? I'll give you a moment. Let's see what it says. The brown cow jumps over the moon. Now, there might be some difficulty at first, but again, it's like riding a bike. Practice, 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 and you'll get the hang of it. Okay, now to put this, that'll be incorrect. You cannot have one vowel for everything. The brown cow jumps over the moon, or sometimes y. This is not a language. Semitic languages are not like this. Okay, so let's see another example. Well, this one is a bit more difficult. I'll let you take a guess. Had enough? This is what it is. Can you tell me why? Notice I have the y here, but then I don't have it. I have it omitted. That is because sometimes the y is written, sometimes it's not. It's to make it easier. I'll give you another one. Again, if I was to think that everything was like this, and let's try changing this one to that, because sometimes it's y, right? So, kan yatal ma wa. That's not a language. Everything cannot be made up of a. I'll give you one more. This is in Hebrew. Notice there are no vowels. It's just the consonants. So this is abjad still. Remember, there are no vowels, just the consonants. Could you tell me what this means? I'll give you a few moments. Well, let's see what it means. Shalom lecha. Shalom lecha. Now you're not used to seeing shalom like this. Let's take this off. You're not used to seeing it like this. But the funny thing is, you can write it this way. There's a reason why it's written this way. You can add these same consonants to double as vowels. So what was done erroneously, okay? Let's take this off. Let's put this here for now. Okay. Now, someone saw this and said, okay, well, there's no vowels, so let's just say ah, 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 ah. So now you have sha, la, wam. Now, what if I did this? What does this say? Shalom, shalom lach, which should still be incorrect. You can have ah, ah, ah. What happens when the wow is missing? It becomes a different word. So you have wow, no wow, wow, no wow. The good thing about this says shalom. Sha, lom. This says sha, lom. It's still the same thing, no matter if you have another wow. Because the wow was there to make it easier or simpler to read. You take it away, you still have shalom. You take the wow away from shalom, you have shalom, which will make it a completely different word. So again, this is another abjad. Remember, abjad is just writing the consonants, okay? So you have yod, shin, resh, aleph, and lamed, okay? Could you tell me what this says? So, there are some of you and some people who think that it's this. So everything is a except the resh. So this becomes yashar al. Yashar al. And I know it as Yisrael. Yisrael. Because there are more than one vowel. Okay? So if I wrote this in a Romanized script, let's first take this off. Okay, and now let's actually write it. So we have, this is essentially what it is. Now, as I said before, sometimes you have certain consonants that will double as vowels, okay? Like this would be that. This would be the aleph here, okay? So, could you guess what this says? correct. Yisrael. Okay? So this, rather than, and this one is Yashar al. This one, El, and then you have Yisra, right? So Yisrael, and then you have Yashar al. This, please make no mistake, because you see a yod in the beginning of a word does not make it this all the time, okay? Just because there's a yod in the beginning. So if I have a verb like this, yehi, this is not yah. This is yehi, as in let there be or let him be, okay? Something with abjad is that you have to know which vowel goes where. There are rules, like in every languages. There are rules and there are patterns. And there will always be laws governing words, whether they be verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions. That is how languages are set up. If you do it erroneously, then you fall into pits. Okay? So, in summary, so if you see this, okay, one cannot just put all of this and make it a language or make it a word, okay? This, even though this is abjad here, the people who spoke it, the people who were in dealings with this, so the people who were bartering, trading, fighting alongside the strangers would be able to read this because they knew the language. The same thing as when those who speak English and you erase all of the vowels, you'll be able, with some difficulty, to understand what was written. Okay? It's pretty much the same thing. And if, let's say, 200 years pass, and then you no longer have any records of how it was pronounced, someone comes along and says, okay, well, everything was ah. And you know, right, that English, along with Latin, Spanish, French, so all of the Romance languages, did not sound like ah. That goes with the Semitic languages just as well. So one could not do this because this will be wrong. So ahaya, ashar, ahaya, no. Ehye, asher, ehye, yes. Or someone might find that this might be a different vowel point, but not everything is the same. And again, there are rules governing why this is this way. So I do hope that sheds some light on what abjad is and how you're able to read Hebrew without the vowels. Shalom, shalom.